What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the City Boy Show. I'm Javier. This is Danny.
What is up?
What is going on?
It's all messed up, man.
Bro, you got that late night shift lately.
I'm tired, guys. I'm working New Zealand time, which, now that I say that out loud, sounds like baby of 4 to 12 p.m. There's probably a lot of people working 4 to 1 a.m., really. But I'm tired to be recording the show at 7 in the morning.
We do this for you guys. You two listeners out there for us.
Don't ever take a New Zealand project. It's not fun.
But just like last game, this episode's a throwaway episode. Danny's on international break in New Zealand, doing horrible times.
Yeah. Maybe we should have just let the boys rest this week instead of playing a game like
we should
I should be rested.
Rest this week, bro. No game, no episode. This is a bigger problem though. Before we get into the game, we should not be playing on international duty.
100% agreed.
It's so dumb.
It is. I know we weren't going to say talking about that. Do you think we should just go switch our schedule to be the European schedule?
You can't play the European schedule.
Why not?
Dude, winter is brutal out here.
Yeah,
it's not
but
like it is out there.
Yeah, but we got, you know what? I saw like a TikTok somewhere or something that we have enough Southern teams to make up for some of those weeks, right? Because they don't play all summer. I think they have like January off. Yeah. So and you have this international leave. So what I'm saying is, you play the first month or two in Florida and Los Angeles, all those places where the weather's a little warmer, and then when spring comes around, you got the summer league, the summertime.
I have no idea how their schedule works out there. So I don't. When does it start?
It starts August.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes September.
Yeah, but we're talking about all these months in November, December. You're not going to be able to play every game.
And we have playoffs in November.
Did we not?
We literally had.
But it's right towards before winter technically starts.
Yeah, exactly. MLS, when we won the championship, it was December 8th. It was. You know why I know? It was SantaCon.
Oh yeah, it was SantaCon. Yeah, it was so crazy. I'm like, yo, it's packed in the city. Everybody for NYCFC, bunch of Santa outfits. Everybody's like, yo, SantaCon is crazy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So you'll play until SantaCon, and then you take off a month, and then it's a little less cold, maybe 2 months, and then you go and bring it back. And then we don't got this thing where you can lose your championship coach mid-season.
Bro, we already complained, though, when it's cold outside, in the first 2 games. When it's March and April, imagine. You're going to have to deal with that November, December. It sucks, bro.
We did it November. It's not that cold. With global warming, it'll never be cold. It'll be fine.
It's cold. But one of the things is the problem I have with it is fans are paying to go to these games. Now you're accepting that you're paying to go to a half-ass team right now who just it's so bad. For Cincinnati, okay, you saw most of your players there, but then you didn't even get. Let's say you were a fan of NYCFC and you're just there and you're like, I want to see this game. You don't get to see all of NYCFC starters. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
And if that was happening in Europe, people would be outraged. Wait, I don't get to see Messi when he used to play for PSG. This is bull. I don't get to see Mbappe. No, they would not accept that.
Yes, agreed.
So it's so dumb that we played during international break.
Exactly. And the funny thing is that's why we're not playing supposedly an Open Cup, right? Because you're not playing your starters anyways because of congestion.
Yeah.
But you're okay for an MLS game, which is your top product right now, and you don't have starters starting.
Yeah.
And it happens here, but it also happens in October. Although I think last year they kind of stopped the playoffs for international leave.
I don't remember. I don't think they did, but
point is, yes. I think we got to switch our schedule, man. Go to the European schedule. Get everyone aligned.
Nah, I'm too soft for that, bro. I'm not trying to watch soccer in December. Late in December, January. We don't play in January. January's freezing, bro.
We got Miami. We got Orlando. We got
not
Texas.
Everybody's going to be able
to play in Texas.
Texas? Why? I don't get the reference.
Remember last year, all he talked about was that Dallas game that we did well in.
That we should have won.
We should have won has been such a constant thing this season.
So
and last season.
Because of international break, I feel like we came into this game saying we have an excuse why we're not going to play well.
Yes.
And to a certain extent, it is true. We did have an excuse. We didn't have a striker. We didn't have a right back. We lost a lot of key players. Parks was out with the red card. So it felt like okay, we competed. We did good enough. That's all we can expect.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where I agree. Like, if you look at this game in isolation, it's like, who cares that we lost this game, right? There's so many more games left. To get into the playoffs is almost impossible to not get into the playoffs, even though we didn't get into the playoffs last year. So, like, who cares about this game? And we didn't have our starting squad. But the problem is that we're still going through the vibes of last season. Like, it's still, you can't just look at it on a micro level. The fans and everyone is still looking at a macro level, and it just feels like it's the same. It's just more of the same, and it's so hard to just look at this game on its own, right? Now we've done 4 games, so out of 12 points, we've gotten 3. We're 1-3.
No, 5 games.
That's 5 games?
Yeah, it's been 5 games.
Oh my God. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, 5 games. We're 1-4.
Oh, that makes it even worse. Out of 15 points, we only have 3. We're 1-4.
Wait, your math is 5 times 3. Yes, my bad. 8 in the morning, bro. It's not like I work in banking and should know numbers.
And it's just like another loss. Just another, like, they just keep piling up. And it's brutal, man.
Yeah. Let's get into the game. Let's get into the weeds of it all, how it went down. Because, yeah, we're being super negative, but I mean, technically, we shouldn't have even been contending against the previous supporter shield with the amount of players we were missing. That's how I feel about it, but you could tell me otherwise. But this was the starting 11. We had Freese, Risa, Martins, and this guy, I'm going to mess up his name, but his first start, Strahinajic? I'm going to...
That works.
Sure. O'Toole, Sanz, Pereira, Jason. Jason made it. Wolf, Rodriguez, and Fernandez. Initial thoughts when you saw the lineup?
I mean, I thought that's the best lineup we could probably hack. I mean, the only is you could have potentially had Hack back there, but it was nice to see the Strahinovic, or at least before the game. It was like, oh, we get to see what he's made out of. And I was like, oh, Jason. I mean, he's not really playing right back; he's playing more like a wing back. But I was like, oh, it's cool to see him back there. I'm surprised he got rated so well, man. But yeah, what did you think of the lineup? Yeah,
I mean, Jason didn't have. I mean, I thought. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. It was our best lineup, which isn't saying much, but yeah, I wanted to see what was coming out of Strahinovic, and I think he struggled. He found himself lost at certain times. Maybe that's just gonna come with time, but it was a rough first start. I felt like they kept attacking our right side because they knew we were kind of depleted on that side, which is a good strategy by them.
Yeah, I felt like Jason was like a bit of a defensive liability there. I thought you could see there. I mean, he was playing against Acosta, right? And like that side was strong for Cincinnati, but just felt like there was a few times where, they made one move and they were way past them. I didn't really understand where I'm going to mess up his name. We need a nickname for this dude. But where he was supposed to be, like,
well,
placed.
It seemed like more of a 3-back, right? So he's supposed to have that right side of the goalpost.
Yeah, but it felt like sometimes he was really wide, and then Thiago Martins had to, like, move a little bit more to the right. So it was like, I don't get where he was exactly supposed to be. And so it seemed like a lot of times they got past Jason, and then Thiago Martins was like the last line of defense. And I know you mentioned on Twitter, but he was getting beat out of the top a lot.
Yeah, the ball over the top. The ball over the top has been so bad lately. We've been getting killed on it. And it's granted, we are pressing, our line's a little higher, but still.
Well, I would say, I don't know if we've given up any goals on it, though. Have we?
Oh, we for sure have. I think we did them. We definitely have.
I mean, Thiago Martins is really good at getting back.
No. But regardless if you're saying we didn't let any goals on it, they have big chances and they're shooting goals, and it's just Matt Freese is playing very well.
Yes.
So it's not like, oh yeah, we didn't let any goals when the ball's over the top of us. Yeah, but we're giving really high chances to these guys.
Agreed.
Which is not good. First 15 minutes, it just felt like they were in complete control of the game. They had multiple chances to score, and Freeze just did a phenomenal job. The guy kept using cold references.
Oh man, he had them lined up in a notebook, bro.
Yeah, he had them all lined up.
He got the scriptwriters from the Batman movie with Mr. Freeze. You remember that with all those terrible puns?
He was so ready for it. But Matt Freeze did play well. We got saved by an offside, which we don't know who was actually offside. They show like 7 different players who might have been offside.
Yeah, I think the announcers were a little lost. I originally saw it said there's no way Keller's offside. That's going to be a goal. But I don't think Keller was what was the offsides call. It was Lucha Acosta who passed the ball to Keller.
Yeah.
And we saw it right before we started recording this. And that makes sense. He did look offsides. Barely, but he looked offsides.
Yeah. And just talking about that, like the VARs, the stoppage and play, the fouls, like it was just all over, and it just kept delaying the game and stopping and going. It was bad.
It was just bad. It was a bad product. So not only do we not have the best players the league has because of international leave, but we also have terrible refereeing.
Yeah.
But actually, on that note, it's almost over.
Also, did you hear
I
more?
actually saw a headline this morning that they're expecting there to be a new CBA agreement by the end of the month.
That's good, because what I feel like is happening is they're going to VAR a lot more because they want to make sure they're getting the right decisions.
Yes.
But it's slowing down the game, and the product is hard to watch because it's slow down, foul, slow down. Oh, VAR, 20 minutes later. How long are we looking at VAR for, bro?
Exactly.
Like, this should not take this long.
And then you got your boy out there. His arms must be tired. Trying to block that screen, bro.
Oh, you saw that? Yo, they take that so serious, bro.
They really did.
I want that guy's job, bro. Just like this the whole game. That's it.
Bro, he didn't look very happy about it. You saw his face?
Bro, you saw those fans? They were like this. I got to see what's going on over here. He's taking his job serious, bro.
Can I take credit for us ending the strike?
Oh, why? Because we had a social media post that nobody watched?
Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to share the story here, guys. So we posted a clip last week about, or 2 weeks ago, about how you got to end the strike because the quality on the pitch is bad and players could get hurt. It wasn't a great articulated clip, but got some views on it, I would say, a little bit of views, and we were tagging some media outlets like, hey, you guys are real reporters, cover the story. Pro Ref reached out to us on Instagram and was like, yo, your facts don't make no sense.
Yeah, they were mad, bro.
Let us tell you the truth. We'll set up a call with you, and we were like, all right, like we're gonna talk to them, we're gonna talk to the PRSA union, we're gonna blow the story up. And then they ended the strike because they saw us coming. I'm going to take credit for it.
We actually never had the conversation, so you guys know. We scheduled the time. They didn't call. Then he said, oh, let's talk again. And then we had lives and kids, and we were like, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, we're like, you know what? We're not getting paid for this.
But we could have had a scoop.
We could have had the
scoop. But we're just lazy.
We could have been like Tommy Scoops, bro. We could have grown mustaches and everything when we
both
released
got them already, bro.
I know.
We just got to shave everything else like Tommy Scoops.
But he's got such a thick mustache. Like, even if we shaved everything, we're not going to look as cool as Tommy Scoops.
I could look as cool as Tommy Scoops.
Yeah,
I just got to curl this up, bro. All right, moving on. What are we talking about? Nobody cares about this game.
This game is terrible.
No, we got a job to do that we forced on ourselves. What happened else this game? Julian had a dangerous chance in the 32nd minute. So I looked at the highlight reel. That was basically one of our 2 highlights the whole game. And then everything was Matt Freese, just like bam, 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 bam. That was basically it. But Julian had that one shot that he always goes to his left foot. He shot it. I didn't think it looked that dangerous. I thought it was a pretty easy save if he was going to save it, but it was off the line anyways. But that was kind of one of our most dangerous opportunities. Then after the half, Santi had that header that actually was very dangerous and could have been a goal. And that was basically it when it comes to offense.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think of Santi in the game? So, like, I heard one of the guys on the game was like, Santi's everywhere, man. And I was like, what do you mean? To me, I don't know where Santi was that game. I thought that there was a lot of, and I've said this in the previous episodes, but I thought there was a lot of disconnect between, like, in the midfield. Like, there was no one who was able to, I felt like, bring the ball up consistently and, like, distribute it. And I noticed that Santi was, like, more like an outlet on the left or an outlet on the right. Sometimes he played middle, but I felt like he was a bit non-existent this game. And I think in a game where you have a bit of a depleted roster, you need a superstar really for our team to do superstar things, DP things, I guess, right? Because he's not a superstar, but he's our DP. And I just felt like he was a little non-existent in this game. And so our offense was a bit non-existent. That's kind of what I saw from Santi. I don't know, but the announcer said something very different. And I don't know how you felt about Santi's play this game.
I think it was just a lack of offensive chances anyway, so it felt like you really couldn't get into a rhythm. And Santi's been best at really getting the ball around to other players while being dangerous himself. But when you're losing, when you don't have a Berg Risa, when you don't have a Kean Parks to get from the midfield to the thing, then Santi has to be that guy. So then he'll have to be in the midfield, pass it off, and then they have to make their own opportunities, right? Hannes, Wolf, Julian Fernandez. So I mean, I just felt like it was an overall game where we didn't see much dangerous opportunities on our end. If we look at let's look at the stats. I mean, we see our expected goals was not very much, 0.49. We had 4 shots on target, but really 2 of those shots weren't dangerous at all. So I think it's an overall team thing versus just a Santi thing. If we look at what was Santi's FOTMOB rating? Granted, those aren't ours, right? 6.3. So I mean, nobody on our offense really had a great game out of our 3 attackers. So I don't know.
Okay.
So we have to get into these. So we already had a depleted roster, but then we had injuries on top of those rosters in this game, which was kind of crazy because it was key defensive players we needed. So Berg Risa goes down in the 52nd minute, which is really bad for us.
Do we know? Have we gotten
I don't think we've gotten an update on Risa yet. But if he's out, who's our other center back? We're going to have to put Justin Hack back there?
Somebody call Chanot. We got to get him back. Oh, but I think Chanot. No, he got a red card in the game, so he's fine, though. Yeah, get Chanot back in here, man.
Bro, he's not going to be able to play next game if they sign him tomorrow. He got a red card. I know.
No, but I agree. That will be a little scary if we don't have him.
We had another injury. Why am I blanking out? Oh, Kevin O'Toole.
Yeah.
Just we lost our center back. We don't have a substitution for that. We lost our left back.
Yes.
These are big, big things.
Yes. If only we would have thought to sign another left back. If only.
Well, I'm more concerned about the center back. Like, if we don't have Risa, I really don't know who starts there. And Justin Hack, yes, he's formidable, but I don't know if he's the guy to be every game at that spot.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Justin Hack play solid sometimes last year when he had to play center back. I think he plays a lot better in center back than he does in midfield. So I do think he kind of gave up that goal that on this game.
No, I wouldn't blame it on him.
I don't think he helped.
Why did Thiago Martins go so far up? Like Lucha Acosta got him flat-footed, oversold him on he's gonna get the ball right there. Why are you so up there? Like, wait till Acosta comes to you.
But I feel like that's kind of the game plan that Cushing has set up. I noticed that our back line is pushing up quite a bit. And they're part of the offensive game.
But we're already on our back end. Lucha Acosta gets the ball. He pretends like he's going to get it. Gets it to, I don't know who, the other Cincinnati players. And then they pass it back to Acosta. Yeah. But at that point, Martins is ahead. And then Lucha Acosta is running past him. And it's just like, come on. How many times are you going to be flat-footed, get beat from behind? Like, it's not good.
I mean, it's Lucha Acosta, though. But I understand.
But why are you over-pressing Lucha Acosta? That's my problem with it.
Yes, I agree. That makes sense.
But in this game, we saw 2 subs. Alonso Martinez and your favorite guy,
Malachi Jones.
What did you...
The next LeBron James of soccer.
You and Malachi Jones.
Honestly, but I thought he was really solid. Like, I thought, I blow him up, but I also had realistic expectations of a kid who just got drafted and is playing for the first MLS game. But who had crisper passing than Malachi Jones after Malachi Jones entered the game? I felt like everyone else was kind of dropping the ball on like trying to get a score, and it seemed like Malachi Jones looked fearless out there. Like, he's like, I'm gonna play my game, and looking fearless had some of the best crisp passing. He made some of the best lanes. They didn't always get it to him, but I saw that and I said, this guy doesn't look like he's burdened from like the history of NYCFC or like our losing streak. He's just gonna go do him. And I thought he played solid for someone who's like 19 years old, 20 years old, and like hasn't played in the MLS. Like, he looks like if you give him more time, he could be a real dangerous weapon.
No, for sure. And that guy has like unlimited stamina. Like, he was going back on defense, going back up, and he's fast, and he's just all over the pitch. So that's one solid thing. I mean, I don't think we saw enough of him to be like, oh, this guy's the guy. He's the future.
He's the guy. Malachi Jones.
But surprisingly, I thought Alonso Martinez was really good. He was aggressive. He was like, I'm taking shots. Two of those shots on targets were, I think, his.
Yes.
And he was just like, I'm taking this shot. And I thought it was actually productive.
Yes.
I was surprised by the sub in from Alonso Martinez, but it makes sense. He's like our only other striker that we could have had out there.
I'm surprised he didn't get a role at the start. Yeah, because, I just think Santi just doesn't know how to put himself in the right positions as like a striker to get those goals. And I felt like maybe if you had a Santi at the 10 and Alonso Martinez as a striker, you could have seen a little bit more of that. Because what I liked about Alonso Martinez wasn't really the shots, because the shots were a little low probability, but it felt like he found the lanes to get open, and then they found the pass to him, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, he has a little bit of Munsef there, because that's what Munsef's been really good at, is finding those opportunities.
Yeah.
And Alonso Martinez, for someone who hasn't played too much striker, I thought he looked solid.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I thought he was a solid. And then we also got Ojeda. Ojeda kind of was like a ghost out there. I wanted Ojeda to start. Like, I want him to start getting those minutes and really making an impact for the team, but I felt like he didn't do much out there.
I felt like Ojeda looked more of a work in progress than Malachi Jones. You know what I mean? Like, they're both, I think, maybe the same age. And I felt like Malachi Jones seemed to be more adjusted. It seemed like Ojeda was still trying to like figure out the pace and the physicality, and so that was interesting. Yeah, but I still believe in you, Ojeda. It's just early.
Trapito, we want to see you score some goals, bro. Get some minutes. But our star of the game was Matt Freese.
100%,
bro. He's doing great. 5 saves. He had 5 saves in our first game against Charlotte, I believe. He's playing tremendous.
And which is sad he's not getting clean sheets, because he deserves them.
And we haven't had one clean sheet yet this season.
That's because we slacking.
But are you worried about that?
We're not dropping the ball.
I mean, the good thing is we're not losing 4-0. We're not, even though we talked about this last year. Hey, we never got killed. We were always in the game, which we were in this game, but we still didn't make the playoffs last year. Yeah. So it doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
I mean, I don't care if we don't get any clean sheets and we win games. So to me, clean sheets isn't super important to our success.
Why I'm concerned about the clean sheets is our defense has been allowing a lot of chances. And yeah, we have 1-goal games, 2-goal games, but those could have easily been 2 goals differential, 3 goals. And we have one of the worst goal differentials right now, but it's because we're not scoring goals. So
yes. And also I think we're just putting too much on our defense sometimes if we're not holding the ball and making more offensive opportunities and things of that sort. So you're putting a lot of pressure on it. I do think that we have taken a bit of a step back on defense with the current back line versus what we've had in the past with Chanot and Callens and Gray. I'm also just very confused at why we don't have Gray out there.
Well, Gray was playing for the Jamaican national team.
No, I get it for this game, but like in general, I'm a bit confused by the Micha starts. I just feel like if you have so much more offensive weapons in the other roles, do you really need, how heavily do you need Micha involved, or can Gray not be able to substitute that to get more power on the defense?
But I think you see Nick Cushing's plan is to push those wing backs all the way up.
Yeah.
So like, if he has Gray there, then I mean he's not as, I guess, strong as Micha. I don't know. I
don't know.
I mean,
felt
no,
like
we've
Gray
seen
is
Micha.
really
No,
solid.
but we've seen Micha's like crosses. I mean, Gray's crosses and things like that, and they're not anything to write home about.
I know, but he's so good defensively.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's really underrated for this team on how many opportunities. I wish there was like an opportunity saved by Gray last year, because I think we could have lost games by a lot more if it wasn't for Gray doing great things.
Scott Cherson, please look up this stat.
Yeah, look that up. I don't know if we gave you enough information on what we're looking for, but DM us.
All right, are we done with this game? Is there anything else to
Please.
talk about?
Please, I don't want to talk about it. Let's not even talk about Cushion. I'm done.
Oh, one thing I would say is Cushing. I put a tweet out that said Cushing was like very upfront about like international duty. Plus, we played Open Cup, and everybody was like, "Yeah, but this is an excuse because he lost the other 3 games." It's just true, so I can't really defend them. But there is really nothing to talk about. I mean, unless next week we have our full roster again, no more excuses.
Also, one thing I do want to say, 11 minutes for stoppage time.
And then you had to add like an additional 5 for VAR review that took like 20 minutes.
Bro, these guys are another time zone with these minutes, homie. It's insane.
Yo, you could tell Cushing was even annoyed after the VAR review, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, no goal or no penalty." He's just like, "Yeah, but you wasted 7 minutes reviewing this thing." So it did. One thing I wanted to add to you or ask to you is, do we feel like we're getting complacent in that we're just like, this feels like the norm now? Like, I feel like if we had this game before and performed like this, we would be like losing our shit. Like, what? How do we lose to this? Like, we weren't even competitive. Our expected goals suck. Like, is this becoming the norm, or was this a one-time game where we didn't have our starters? Like, are we accepting losses now on the road and just accepting that we won't win games as often as the standard was before?
That's a good question. I mean, we weren't ever really that good on the road. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think when we lose at home, it's always a really big deal still. So I don't know if we're being complacent.
But one thing I'll say is, though, we were so excited about our 2-1 win last game. And it wasn't a great 2-1 win. Like, you get me? Like, if we really think about it, like, that was a sloppy-ass 2-1 win where Keaton Parks got the red card,
yeah.
Where we lost the whole player, and we were like, yeah, we did it. We're back. You know what I mean? So I feel like, to a certain extent, the standard's just being lowered and lowered. And it's been something since last year. So that's what like has me thinking like I saw this game and I wasn't that upset. It was just like, it's NYCFC.
Yeah.
So I don't know if our standard's getting lower or this was just a one-time thing where players were on international duty, so we kind of understood why we didn't perform to the level we could have.
Yeah.
But I think it's a valid question to start thinking about. Like, are we playing to our standard, or are we lowering our standard now? As a fan base, as media, as players.
Yeah. It's so hard. It feels like it's so hard to create a standard when there just feels like there's so much volatility all the time, right? Like, it's like, how do you create a sample size when it feels like it's not the same team to have the same sample size? You know what I mean? And I think that's right. And I know people are like, we have a sample size, 60 games. Cushing's only won 5. Sure. And it's like, yeah, but like there's so much nuance there, and it's like we didn't have a striker for half of those games. Cushing came in at mid-season. Now we have these new players. It's a really young team. We have 0 veterans. They talked about it on the
broadcast.
The broadcast, like, where's the veteran leadership on this team? Oh my God. I don't want to complain about Cushing, but just like this whole leadership squad he made, like there's not one leader, it's a group of like some type of democracy and you get to choose. I hate it. I absolutely hate that idea. But that's
you're else. Like those old school corporate office. I am the boss and you do what I say. That's what you like, bro. Get out of here with that. Your old school way of thinking.
I'm just saying it's weird. You should have a leader that you can go to. But the point is, like, my thing is it's so nuanced, so it's so hard to be like, yeah, man, like we're all terrible and this is terrible, because it's like, where is the consistency with this team? And I feel like at this point, it's like it's 5 games, and we need to see these games. Like, this is a consistent. We're not getting any new players, right? I don't think so. This is the team. Cushing needs to make this team work, and I guess I'm just like, it's 5 games, because if it was a new coach, it's been 5 games, we would be more chilled and be like, well, it's only been 5 games. He just got here. We got all this new team. It's just the accumulation of Cushing's history that says, no, Cushing has had his time. But in a way, it's not because of all these changes.
Fair point. But, okay. We can move on from that. But, yeah, I think in this next week, after this Inter Miami game, which we're probably already accepting we're losing. After this Inter Miami game, we go on a home stretch of like 5 to 6 games. So I think after those 5 games, if the standard, if we're like accepting losses at home, then yes, the standard has dropped. You know what I mean?
Yes, agreed.
But let's go into this Inter Miami game, because this is a big one. I feel like we've been saying everyone's a big one, but we keep losing, and it feels like every game is becoming more and more dire important. If we look at the team, they're second place in the East. Granted, they played the most games out of everybody in MLS, so they have 6 games played versus everybody has like 5 or 4. They have 10 points, 3 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. In our head-to-head, we've dominated Miami. This was before Messi, but 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So we have the upper hand against Miami, but we're going on the road, and we suck on the road. We haven't scored in 3 away matches.
Oof.
So we can keep that going.
But Miami did lose 4-0 to the Red Bulls.
Without Messi.
Yeah, but they had Luis Suarez. They had Busquets. They had Campana. They had Taylor. Like,
Alba.
It wasn't a completely deleted team.
Yeah, but it's Messi, bro. And so Messi, I don't even think Messi went anywhere on international. I think it was more like he was just hurt. So he's had some time to recover now. He's going to come out firing, bro.
I think he was really pissed about that friendly we had, too. He's going to want some revenge.
Bro. He's still mad at Jason. No, he was really mad at Santi.
Yeah, he was mad at Santi.
Santi better hide,
We messed up his Ballon d'Or night, man.
Yo, that was we did his Dior night.
Yeah, so, yeah, but you know how, like, in FIFA, when you're playing manager, there's like certain like goals you need to have for the season.
Oh, like expectations. Yeah, like goals you have to hit. Yeah,
goals, or like you have to like it's like you have to win X amount of home games or make it to the playoffs or something like that. I feel like one of Cushing's like things is do not lose to Miami, right? Because it's just like that's one of the few games that we have like a public. Like, more people are watching it than any other game. So you have I legitimately think if you have, like, a terrible game against Miami, it's a bigger loss to the organization than, like, another loss. Maybe even a home loss. Like, I think it's up to that level because of how many eyes are on him.
But I don't think that makes a difference in the sense that you're like, oh, Cushing's like, oh, I wrote this. This is an important game. Look, I marked it, guys. Nobody cares. And it doesn't matter because even when big games come, are we performing just because Cushing highlighted it as important?
I think there are must-win games, and I felt like the last home game was a must-win. I don't know if Cushing would have survived if that game, we lost that game. I feel like an Inter Miami, maybe it's not a must win.
It's for sure
but
not
it's
a
a
must
must play really well. Like, it cannot be us losing 2-3-0. I really think that a game's important for the organization because of the eyes watching it.
That could be fair.
Yeah. So let's see.
You know what I just because we were talking about Red Bulls, did you hear what happened with that new guy they signed from the Bangladesh league? Not the Emil Forsberg. He's basically, I think, one of their new strikers or something for Red Bull.
I have not heard what happened. What happened?
His wife went on Instagram. This is a juicy one. This is TMZ.
You always got the Instagram
This is TMZ gossip, bro.
Okay.
She posts like, "Oh, I'm glad you're having fun in New York, and that reporters have talked to you more than your own family's been able to talk to you."
Wow.
And she's like, "I'm filing for a divorce after 19 years or something like that."
On Instagram?
On Instagram. She's like, they really haven't been able to get in contact with him. And he said something, I think, along the lines to her, like, "Oh, it's like, I can't really explain the situation." Bro, you just abandoned your family. It was crazy,
And
bro.
wait, did he respond to her on Instagram?
No. He hasn't responded yet.
Then who responded?
Wait, why? No,
You just said he said, like, "Oh, I can't talk
Oh,
right
I
now,"
think there was like on an article, it said like something of like maybe a text that he sent to her or something along those lines.
Wow.
Juicy stuff, bro. Red Bull players, man, the worst.
But yeah, they don't got signal in New Jersey. That's like a third world country.
The crazy thing is her Instagram post before that was like in December, like, "Oh, so excited to go on our new adventure to New York." So it's like he left her and was like, I guess, "Oh, I'm gonna bring you guys back soon." Never brought them to New York.
That's crazy.
Juicy TMZ. What have we done? This is what happens when the team doesn't perform well. We start talking gossip, but it was so good I had to mention that. I guess what's our expected starting 11 for this team? This is what I said. I mean, this is our lineup, I think, against Portland when we won a game. So we'll go back to it. Wolf, Bakrar, Fernandez, Santi, Keaton, Sands, Micha, Risa, Thiago Martins, and O'Toole if he's back. There's two people that I don't even know if they're going to be back. O'Toole, who, I mean, he had a head injury, so I think you could come back next game.
What's a concussion? That's fine. You could be back.
That was a bad one. I felt bad.
Yeah.
And then Risa, I don't know what's going to happen with him. It looked like something happened with his leg. So
Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
What's the expectation? Do you like this lineup?
I know I keep claiming it, but I want to see Gray, especially against like this offensive firepower. I would bring in Gray for this game, but after that, I think the lineup's fine.
I'm not mad at that. All right, let's go.
Yo, Harper reached out to us on our YouTube and was like, "Yo, what about the U.S. Open Cup?" Maybe we'll talk about that afterwards. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do the predictions for this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miami predictions. So these are the bet. Oh, wait, let's go back to our last week. Last week we sucked again. We both picked to draw. We both lost, so we both picked an L. I'm at $43. You're at $121. You have 2 wins, 2 losses, and I have 1 win, 3 losses. I'm struggling, bro.
You are struggling, but I only put $10 because I knew it wasn't gonna go on. You put in big money, didn't you?
I put in $25.
You ridiculous, bro. Do not follow Javier's bets. The math shows it, bro.
So the betting lines for this game is Miami minus 140. The draw plus 285, NYCFC plus 310. I like that. And then we'll go a little different because we're playing against Messi. Minus 120 for Messi to score.
Ooh.
And then the under 2.5 plus 110. What's your bet if you're gonna have to bet?
You don't have it there, but if I had to guess, I would say both teams to score.
Okay.
I think they're a bit of a defensive liability, and hopefully your boy Moonsef doesn't have goals, but he got 2 assists in Algeria.
Oh, he did. Nice.
And so maybe he'll bring some of that offensive magic here. So they're a defensive liability. I think we're gonna get scored on. So I would say both teams to score.
Okay, how much you putting?
I'm gonna put $20 on that.
Not feeling very confident. How much money I have? I have $43.
You're running out of money
I
here.
do it. I am running out of money. All right. What do I got? I kind of like the Messi to score. I'm not going to lie. He's coming off a break, but I'm not going to take that. And I'm going to take this because this is the NYCFC way right now. Under 2.5 plus 110. And why I'm doing that? NYCFC has hit under 2.5 8 out of their 9 games.
Oh my, that's actually a little embarrassing.
It does mean the other team's not scoring on us like crazy.
That's true.
So I'm going with under 2.5. We've hit 8 out of the last 9 games. Let's make it 9 out of 10. Make it a 90%. And I'll put $20. I'm really running out of money.
You're gonna have to refill that account soon.
What else you got for me?
Yo, U.S. Open Cup.
Oh, U.S. Open Cup. So we beat Motown.
We beat Motown
3-0.
which was a USL team, right?
Yeah, and Carrizo scored scored a goal.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yes. So I'm excited for that team, bro.
But
I didn't. Oh yeah. Can you give some color there?
what?
So you were talking on that thing that you posted on Twitter. Your boy was like, we had
Nick
to play.
Cushing.
Nick Cushing said,
No, so he was saying basically that some of his bench players already got a lot of minutes on Thursday. So even if he wanted to put them in, Carrizo was on the bench.
Oh, Carrizo was on our bench for Cincinnati?
He was.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Some other guy was on the bench. So there was guys who played on that Open Cup game on Thursday that if he wanted to sub them in, they were already tired anyways. Because they just played on Thursday. So that's what was going on there.
It. Just shows if we'd be on the European schedule, we could play the U.S. Open game.
All right. No.
And we could play these international games. Just saying.
On the conversation of U.S. Open Cup, NYCFC 2 plays tonight.
Do they?
Versus, guess who?
I have no idea.
The team who leaves their wives at home. Red Bull 2. This is a big game. NYCFC 2 rivalry game. I like it. I want to go actually, but
is that's in Queens, right?
Yeah, it's in Queens right
today?
there. Yeah, it's gonna be a packed house. I want to go.
If only I didn't have to work a New Zealand schedule, I'd be there tonight.
I'm gonna see if I make it. I probably won't. Though. Maybe I could bring the daughter with me.
Oh, that'd be cool.
A little adventure. I gotta buy tickets. I don't even know how to buy tickets.
I'm sure you could buy them there for 10 cents.
10 cents to the dollar. They're on sale.
Also, I wanna give a shout out. My wife's from Vermont, and I actually love the Vermont green jerseys, which is why I love the team. It's a weird thing to like, and they won against some team that I have no idea. But it was a bunch of college kids who beat like a USL team, and I was like, that's awesome. So they have made it to the next round, and they're playing Carolina Core. So go whoop their ass, homies. Let's go for Vermont Green. That's my second team. If they make it far.
Yes, I like it. All right, I think that's it, guys.
I think that's it. I mean, you played the music, so I guess that's it.
I was trying to be done with this, bro. Just like this game, I'm done with it.
Peace. All right, peace.